All right. So as we have a few people who've joined the call, we'll get started. Again, Canvas GFX here presenting our integration to Aras Innovator. Our product is Canvas Envision. I'm Ellie Linehan, VP of Technical Sales at Canvas GFX. My email address is on the screen. You'll also receive an email follow-up after this webinar if you have any questions. You can also enter questions in the Q&A panel of this webinar, and we'll handle questions at the end. So just to catch folks up, perhaps you're familiar with Aras Innovator and not as familiar with our product. So Canvas Envision is our flagship product. At Canvas GFX, we focus on next generation technical graphic authoring and consumption. So we're able to create multimedia documents using a variety of data sets that surround engineering workflows to make really efficient document authoring, and then also really rich interactive document consumption. Our customers use Canvas Envision for manufacturing process instructions, standard operating procedures, maintenance and repair guides, as well as training content. As far as our product, we're very flexible in many ways. Our deployment is flexible. We have cloud-hosted private cloud deployments as well as on-prem options. And we're growing our integration network. Our first integration is large integration is into Aras Innovator, which is what we're presenting today. And what we are really powering is this transition to 3D interactive model-based documents that are easy to update. And we'll get more into this. So I think really the prospects of Canvas Envision integrated into Aras Innovator is exciting because we have the unique capability in our documents, because it's an object-based document, to really pull data back and forth from Aras Innovator and democratize access to PLM data for technical authors in ways that are different than the typical siloed experiences that people have today. So not only does this give technical authors access to all of that latest and greatest PLM data, 3D models, queried tables, images, etc. It really enhances the document itself because it has more integrity. So not only is the document version controlled in your single source of truth inside of Innovator, it's also the digital thread is maintained for the contents within that document. So you know, for instance, if you've embedded a CAD model or data around a certain item from your PLM, it's actually tied to your document, and you can go ahead and update that when engineering changes. So there's a real benefit for the authoring workflow. And on top of that, you have a kind of new file experience. Though you can export our files to standard JPEG and PDF formats, we also have the option to consume those documents right from Aras Innovator in an embedded viewer, as well as share that outside. So yeah, so just to talk a little bit about why Canvas Envision is different. Naturally, we have the ability to have text and tables that you would have in any document, but we also, on top of that, have the ability to visualize 3D data in an interactive way, manipulate that data, animate that 3D data, and again, have that interactive viewing within the document. We have a fun quote here before we kind of launch into our demo. Some of you may know this, some of you may not. Canvas GFX, the founder of Aras, is the chairman of the board at Canvas GFX. So we have a special kind of relationship with Aras in that sense. And we have a fun quote here from Peter about his vision, the ability to make PLM data available in an intuitive, contextualized, and customizable way for a huge audience with diverse requirements is now fundamental to operational success. And we couldn't agree more. We think The third stage of product design data digital transformation is really on the document and the document consumption in engineering organizations. We've seen a lot of transformation in design engineering, the ability to run optimization studies and modeling tools, the ability to collaboratively design, run simulations, kinematics, etc. And then on the PLM, we're seeing transformations underway now with the way we store and organize data. We are all talking about things like digital twin. But as far as on the compilation and consumption of documents, a lot of that is really lagged behind as far as investment and advancement. So that's really what we're kind of attacking here with Canvas Envision, and integrating that into PLM is kind of an obvious next step for optimizing the documentation creation and consumption. So again, before we get into the demo, just a little insight into why people like using our tool, what the benefits they've seen when they adopt the Canvas Envision platform. So compared to the old way of doing things, our customers say, they're going from very long text-dense office documents, handing back and forth screenshots with engineering, and having weeks to create static content. And then when that document gets into the hands of the person who needs it, it's not something they learn from quickly or easily based on the content. So when they adopt Canvas Envision, they have a built-for-purpose creation application where they can do things that they would typically do in several disparate tools. So they can do their 2D editing, vector editing, pull in 3D models, create those images all under one hood. And the ability to do things like animate models really helps them educate and enhance the comprehension of the person who's receiving that. So it really leans into visual understanding, and it accelerates the overall process. So what we have here, what we're talking about today, is the piece in blue. So our product, we have a standalone version of Canvas Envision that consists of a browser creator and a browser viewer. But we have the option to integrate outside. So for our documents can actually be managed within PLM, and the data that we embed in those documents can be pulled from PLM. So that's really what we're talking about today. So I'll get right into it. All right. And feel free to add any questions throughout, though we'll get to them probably at the end. So I'm going to go ahead and share my entire screen for simplicity. All right. So, so what we have here, we have our Aras Innovator instance with Canvas Envision integrated. So I'm going to run through quickly what we've done, and then we have a kind of a story around engineering change that I'm going to share with you. So what we've done is on the document item in Aras Innovator, we have the ability to edit and view Canvas Envision documents. So what we have here is just a hook right into Canvas Envision. So when we hit Edit in Envision, we open up a tab with Canvas Envision launched right from the browser, where we're able to pull data in PLM that we have access to right into the document. So image items right from the graphic items in Aras, as well as 3D models, CAD and part data stored in Aras, as well as query tables. So we can pull that all in. In the case of something like an illustrated parts list, we might want a tabular format for all of the components contained in a certain view. And not only can we embed this data, so it's pulled right from our single source of truth, the center of our engineering universe, PLM, we can also check and update this document when engineering changes. So I'll quickly, we'll run through this, and you can see I have 3D models that are out of date in this document. This is just a beta environment I'm sharing now. So when a model changes from Rev A to Rev B, we can detect that that change happened in the document. As you can see, I have a Rev A and a Rev B, and if I would hit OK, then not only would this view update, every single view that's based on a 3D model in the document permeates throughout the document. So this is, when we talk about efficiency, that connection to PLM and our ability to update data in our document is really leveraged and showcased here. So I'm going to jump over here just to, again, give folks an idea of what Canvas Envision is if you've never seen it. So we have, typically you consume 3D and 2D form data in completely different, documents. So in an EV doc, in the Canvas Envision document, we have the ability to have 2D and 3D live in the same document, in the same page, in the same pane of glass. So it really brings together the full power of the data sitting in your PLM environment. And we can have single page or multi-page documents. We can animate. We can animate 3D models as well. And just an example of, when we talk about supporting maintenance and repair, assembly, disassembly, this is what we're talking about, leveraging 3D models to really show the story of, an assembly sequence, for instance. And side by side, we can pull in photographs, 3D models, we can do some vector drawing to really enhance the understanding of the consumer on the other end. We also have what's great by leveraging Aras Innovator. Our documents, or your documents, when you author them in Canvas Envision, you are going to be able to leverage the built-in tools in Aras Innovator to version control those documents and also to have collaboration right inside Aras Innovator. So we're kind of taking the best of both products and putting them together. So from here, I'm going to launch a presentation on engineering change. So I'm just going to open this up and press play, and the audio should come through. Just a moment. Right, and you should see, it just, and I'll hit play. With the integration of Canvas Envision and Aras Innovator, we're able to pass information from PLM, such as 3D models, queried tables, and raster and vector images from PLM to Canvas Envision documents, and pass those documents as well as the manifest information back to Aras Innovator. So everything embedded in a single graphic or a multi-page document is traceable and controlled within PLM. So for instance, in this multi-page document, within a single page, I can have multiple layers which contain a variety of data. They could also live side by side, so I can bring together the story required to fully understand documents like maintenance manuals, assembly and disassembly, and manufacturing work instructions. It's with real photographs, which can be edited within the tool using pixel editing, as well as text data, model data, tabular information, text, and vector drawings. So you can truly pull everything together to share what needs to be shared to those who are consuming this, and it's all still traced back to PLM instead of being created in a siloed, disconnected application. From here, we'll go into an example of an engineering change order where we update a CAD model And we detect through the engineering change order that the Envision document also needs to be updated. The Envision document is by default stored on the document item type classification EV. The EV classification contains a manifest of all the PLM data contained within the document. So when change controlled items like CAD or part are updated, the document is automatically included in the impact matrix. So the EV document is part of the change, and everything can be updated in Envision based on the latest revisions of the items in Innovator. So inside Innovator, in my in-basket, I can see I have an ECO to review. When I enter the ECO, I can see that a CAD and a part item were added to this ECO. In addition, I can see a document, a component maintenance manual that references the CAD item is also required to be reviewed as part of this ECO release. If I go and open that document, I can see this document has a relationship called manifest. Inside that manifest, I can see that that CAD item is utilized inside this document. So it's also part of the review process. So we have maintained the digital thread, so to speak, between the document and the referenced objects or the referenced items. So now that I've reviewed all the items in the impact matrix, set an effective date, I'm going to go back to my in-basket and complete the task. And I'm going to submit to review. So now the ECO is in review. We will approve changes. So now let's go ahead and make a new revision of the CAD document. Create a new ECO. Redesign. And we'll make this one effective November 30th. And we can see that the document that this was referenced on previously, as well as the related part, are brought into the impact matrix automatically. I'll change the item action to or revise this document because I know that we'll need to change it. And we'll revise the CAD document as well. So from here, let's go ahead and update that document. In the background, we've already updated the CAD to revision B with new geometry. That geometry is used within this Envision document. So we want to go ahead, edit it, and update it. So we'll go from the toolbar here and edit an Envision, which will be launched right in the browser from Aras Innovator. So here inside Envision, I can edit the document. I'm able to update any 3D data using the source 3D data from PLM to update all the 3D objects within my document based on the new data pulled from PLM. So all animations and views throughout this document can be updated and permeated with the new geometry and component changes, saving a lot of time on the authoring side when we have new data available. Once I'm done updating this document to my liking, I can go ahead and save to PLM. The new CAD revision B that I've used to update this document will be automatically detected inside the manifest of the document. So I'll know that this document is ready to be released. And whenever I create a revision C, I'll know, according to the ECO, to go ahead and update this document because it currently references revision B. Something else we can do with Canvas Envision is create graphical content to be utilized within the graphic item type inside applications such as tech docs or MPP. So in this example, we've used Canvas Envision to create these graphical illustrations inside this technical document. So if we go ahead and scroll, we can see we have this exploded parts illustration. And we also have this illustration where we've created some details around nick, dent, and scratch limits. What's interesting is when this document, for instance, is published to PDF or HTML, it can utilize embedded links. Those embedded links can point to Canvas Envision. So if I go ahead and test this link, we can see in the new tab, we open an interactive view where we're actually able to interact with kind of a frozen version of this view and take a look at what was in this document. So in our beta release, we've taken advantage of the fact that graphic items are version controlled to attach them to the EV document saved in a special classification, EV, which is a change controlled item, in order to be able to detect when changes are required to the graphic because the underlying data has changed. In the document, we have that same manifest that contains all the objects that are referenced within the Envision document. The graphic is derived from that document and associated here. So when we go ahead and go through the ECO process, we'll update the document and simultaneously release a revision to the graphic. So I'll go behind the scenes quickly and revise the graphic, and then we can see how that change is also flagged inside of Tech Docs. So here, I've gone through the process of the ECO, of the document, the CAD, and the associated graphic. And now I'm back editing my tech doc, and I can see that this graphic is out of date, and I can go ahead and update it to the latest. So all in all, we've created the ability to author unstructured Envision documents, pulling data back and forth from PLM, so you can maintain that single source of truth coming from PLM and traceability. You also have the ability to create a document that contains a variety of data needed for workflows such as manufacturing work instructions, including 2D, 3D, and image data, vector drawings and text, symbology. These documents can contain links and actions, so they're truly interactive and a level up from standard office type static documents. In addition to the Envision document, which can be viewed and authored and launched from Aras Innovator, we also have the ability to create those individual graphics to bring to life and really take advantage of the graphic item type in Aras Innovator utilized within Tech Docs and TDF-based applications like MPP. These graphics, while always version controlled, now are able to be updated via their manifest contents. And those authors can fully leverage data available within PLM to reduce the silos within an organization. Awesome. All right. All right. Thanks for your attention, everyone. I hope that it excites me to actually have document authoring tied to PLM. I think there's a lot of potential. So I'm going to jump back to my presentation. If there are any questions on what we've presented, I encourage you to enter them into the chat or the Q&A. While we wait for any questions to come in, I'll just let you guys know that we are launching a select beta, so we can have a few interested partners come in and test what we've done here, provide some feedback ahead of general availability. So we have a few seats available left in our beta program. If you are interested in joining that beta or hearing more about what's next with this integration, I encourage you, you can reach out to me, or you can reach out to us in general using this email, envision@canvasgfx.com. And you'll also receive a follow-up email. So please, reach out and join us in this. So I'll just check if there were any questions. I'm not seeing many questions, so I think with that, yep.
There's a question about the file formats in Aras Innovator.
Thank you. So similar to Aras Innovator being kind of CAD agnostic, Canvas Envision is also a CAD agnostic tool. So we have over 30 formats of 3D data that we can pull in. So all the standard major formats as well as neutral formats, we can embed within a tool. So in a case where you have supplier data coming in a different format than is used within an organization, you can pull that all together within one document. And it's converted to a lightweight format within our EB docs. Wonderful. All right. Well, again, I encourage you to reach out to us and join our beta and kind of experiment with what we've done with Aras Innovator. And thank you for your time today.